Environment for neurodivergent children is fundamental. We often talk about supporting neurodivergent children and teens in terms of strategies and the behaviours that we want to see, and perhaps skills that they might need to learn, particularly to get through the exam system. But it doesn't really need to be as complicated as that. We really need to look at environment and creating an environment around these children that supports how their brain works. And this isn't about making things simpler or removing challenge. It's just about removing friction and removing barriers to things that are preventing them from allowing their brain to work the way it's meant to. For example, a dynamic classroom that allows movement and talk and debate, or workspaces that are clean and clutter-free, timeframes that are flexible. But certainly in education, where the environment can be stressful and there are expectations and assumptions that you are going to think and perform and get the right answer in a given way, neurodivergent children often carry this invisible pressure to fit in, to perform in the way that that environment demands, to fit those expectations. But over time, this is going to develop into a loss of confidence, resistance, resentment, and eventually anxiety around being part of education and being a valuable member of society. But it doesn't have to be this way if we have awareness around what it is that can make environment so much of a struggle for neurodivergent minds. Because it's not that neurodivergent minds lack intellectual capacity or ability. It's just actually that they are working far harder in the typical neurotypical environment than anybody realizes, because they are having to process so much more information from their environment because of the way their brain works. Now, there's nothing wrong with the way their brain is wired. There are strengths that come with it as well as challenges, but we need to understand how that brain is wired so that we can match the environment to get it in the best from it. And changes in environment can support that. It will allow them to think more clearly, allow them to connect more authentically, to take risks, to build resilience free of shame. So environment can be transformative for our children. Now, I've got a guide called Supporting Young Neurodivergent Minds, and in about 15 minutes, you'll have a much clearer understanding of how your neurodivergent child's mind works and how we can support their confidence, their resilience, and also their need for emotional regulation. These are 3 fundamentals that we cover in that guide. Now, if that's of use to you, I've put the link in this live below for you. And also, if you're interested in more of these little snippets of information, then do follow along, because I am going to complete a full series of neurodivergent fundamentals, everything from a strong neurodivergent identity to environment like today, all the way through to strategies like around executive function and masking. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.